All right, so I'm over here adjusting my clutch, which I've done several times without a problem, but then all of a sudden this happened. The cable adjuster just kind of like, came apart as I was tightening up the clutch. So I don't know. I never had this problem before. So yeah, I mean, this is just something that I've done several times, never had really a problem, but all of a sudden this like the cable adjuster just separated, like the bottom piece and the top piece, they just kind of like separated as I was tightening up the clutch lever. And yeah, it's like now I can't necessarily tighten it up. So do you know what's going on with this thing here?
Well, it happened to me several times. And the way I learned is to simply kind of start from the beginning, where you just take out some of the tension out of the cable first. Not quite all of the tension, but enough where the lever is just kind of flopping around.
Well, I'm going to give that a shot. I think that might have been where I went wrong. I mean, when they tell you to take out as much slack as you can to adjust the clutch, maybe I just took off too much slack. Yeah.
Snug it up. Okay. Snug up the cable now a little bit, just so you can get some movement in the clutch plates when you squeeze it. Not all the way, just simply enough to get some movement. But when you release the clutch, just pop it, let it snap out. Do this about 3 or 4 times where, clutch disc and all that kind of sit. And then check your adjustment again. It's probably going to be off a little bit, and that's what we want. And then just do this about 3 or 4 times. By the 3rd or 4th time, the adjustment should be pretty consistent. Then you go to working your cable.
All right, so obviously you could tell that I ran into a problem, and I have the motorcycle on a lift now, right? And the problem that I ran into is that as I was trying to tighten up the hand lever, the cable adjuster on the clutch cable kept coming apart. It kept unscrewing from the end of the cable, right? And so I've never had that problem before. I was trying to troubleshoot it, but then I decided to come over here and take the clutch release cover off to see if there's something here that's messing things up. And I actually found out what the problem is, and I'll give you a close-up of it. So you can see after I removed the clutch release cover that this cable is all the way out here, and it really should be more up here, right? And I noticed that there are the ball bearings in here are kind of like off, so this is what's throwing the whole thing off. And this would be a simple adjustment to make, right? Just gotta remove this snap ring off, and then just make sure that you put everything back together again the way it's supposed to be. But I discovered, right, well, actually my friend Jerry discovered that in the clutch release cover, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a small crack right here. You could hardly tell. It's a hairline crack. And so basically what that means, especially, I mean, it probably would be okay if I leave it like this, but I do a lot of slow speed maneuvering, and I'm really heavy on that clutch. So I am going to go ahead and place an order for a new clutch release cover and then put this all back together again. But that's actually what ended up being the culprit of the problem. Here all right, I got my brand new clutch release cover. I actually ordered it from Dennis Kirk. This was about $70. I believe it's a Drag Specialties or some brand like that, which I hear is pretty good. And I got my manual.